I think it's recording. Yep. Alright, trying a different camera. A regular camera. You know, $5 camera. Yeah. So it's good for video, I think it will be anyway. Not good for much else, kind of ragged shape. Anyway, this is way off the subject. Sorry. I do just point out that it's a different camera just because sometimes people ask. So, yeah, it's a different camera. Anyway, it's cheap Kodak. 7 megapixel standard kind of crappy camera, but they do record pretty good video, Kodak. Anyway, beside the point. Professor Anton, yeah. Annoying. Yeah. So he does this Kierkegaard thing, right? And you know, the funny thing is he's always citing these authors, and when you look these guys up, you know, a lot of them didn't even like each other. And so he's talking like they all have some common thread or theme, and you know, stoic, and yeah, I don't see it. They really didn't like each other. You know, and then, you know, it's this whole thing of, you know, do you judge these guys based on what they wrote when they were 20 or what they wrote when they were 40? Well, anyway, so the point is he takes these two lines, or this two concepts from Kierkegaard, that there's no greater love than to, you know, impose life on somebody, throw them into this shithole and say, good luck, sucker. And the second greatest thing would be just to remember them once they're dead. And you know, it's almost like the religious right and their love for fetuses, you know, and their desire to keep the dead alive. You know, when you're taking your last breath, they'll save you. And you know, when you don't have a brain, they'll save you. But the whole part in between, it's basically fuck you. God doesn't like you, too bad. You get what you get, sucker. And it's just sort of ironic and funny. So anyway, I mean, the after you're dead thing is just kind of, I mean, really, yeah, you know, and what do you want to leave behind is a thing called a legacy anyway. You want to be remembered for what you did, not who you were. You know, kind of. Or the who the were is an expression of your did thing. But, you know, the idea is to make a contribution. So anyway, let's just take a little brief rundown on this Kierkegaard guy. Right? You know, like all these philosophers of 100 or 200 years ago, you know, born of money. His father apparently knocked up a maid and had to, you know, marry her to cover his recklessness. Had 7 kids, 5 of them died young. And so the 2 left were the Kierkegaard guy and his brother, who became a bishop. So the Kierkegaard guy was basically religious most of his life, and then he, you know, in some sense, I mean, he wasn't a devotee. Well, he was, but he wasn't. I mean, he was reformist, let's call it. And then at the end of his life, though, he trashed it. I don't know what the relationship with his brother was then, the bishop, or whatever the fuck he was. Anyway, so the guy died fairly young, and in poor health, and who knows what he would have said. I mean, I didn't read one of his last books. I didn't read any of his books. But anyway, and you're looking for a quote, and there's no quotes. I mean, there's no, like, rock solid, hard, brilliant little quoteisms. They're just not there. It's all kind of vague, mushy, goobly-gaw. So anyway, so Professor Einstein's making the point that somehow just by saying life is good, there, I proved life is good. So because Kierkegaard guy says having kids is, you know, something, all of a sudden it's something. And his own life was an example. I mean, he fell in love with some 14-year-old girl, proposed marriage at 17, then broke the engagement, basically because he figured he just wanted to fornicate, and he sort of wanted to just celebrate the idea that now she's free to, you know, chase other men, or I don't know. It's this whole stoic nonsense that somehow the game is the only thing that matters, and you know, somehow what you do to other people doesn't matter, and So anyway, the book he's referencing, I think, is one where, in some sort of metaphoric way, this Kierkegaard guy is just composing the two ideas of living an ethical life versus living an aesthetic life, a selfish one, or and by his judgment, I'd almost say that both versions are selfish, because he doesn't even know what ethics are. He thinks ethics are, I walk in the park and I say hello to the poor people. That's the depth of his ethics. So, fuck that. So anyway, so back to Professor Anton. Like I say, he makes this video and he talks like there's some sort of logic, inescapable logic I have to refute here. And he offered nothing. He just said it. Giving birth is somehow a gift. We're back to that kind of crap. It's crap. Hey, bud.
Hello.
It's having kids. It's not doing somebody a favor. It's an act of selfishness. I mean, if you're really not into it, there's no way you're going to do it, because you're going to realize, hey, people are going to yell at me if I leave the kids in the trunk. So if you really don't have a passion for it, you don't want to go anywhere near it, because it's going to screw you up all over the place, because any mistake you make, you can go to jail for. I decided I wanted to go to the coast for a couple of weeks, and I didn't really want to take the kids with me, so I locked them in the basement. It's a whole life you build yourself around this kid-caring thing, and if you're not into that, there's no way you're going to step in that mud. Well, then he was talking too about how, it's so hard to have a kid, they always die on you before they can become conscious and thank you or something. And you're like, what the fuck? Kierkegaard's an example. I mean, his father has 7 kids. Most of them die. And, they knew what consciousness was. And then they got, typhus or some sort of horrid disease or condition. And they died. Fully conscious, fully suffering. How's that a fucking gift? No thank you. I mean, how loud do people have to say, no thank you? No thank you. No fucking thank you. So I guess that'd be good on a, anti-natalist t-shirt. No fucking thank you. I'll pass. Pass the gift on to something else. Give it to your cancer. Yeah, give your cancer tumor the gift of life. All right, but keep me the fuck out of it. You want to raise a little tumor inside of yourself? Yeah, raise that. Have that. Have some cancer, you fuckers. Not babies. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, have a cancer, not a baby, fucker. Really, this idea that fucking life is a toy, it's just such bullshit, or some sort of controlled experiment bullshit. I mean, what do I have to refute here? There's no argument made. The argument I can make, the imposition is quite obvious. I can obviously metaphor it to a serious experiment where you've got to really have some sort of purpose or point, because you're putting something at risk, undeniable risk. Sorry about the sun, but I don't get to control that. You just can't deny the risk. And the fact that you're doing it based on some sort of notions in your head is undeniable. What's the gift in that? Oh, the gift of imposing on me, projecting on me your aspirations. Well, fuck that. I'm not as stupid as you are. The presumption that I'm as dumb as you? Oh, thank you very much. What a gift. To presume upon me the lesser faculty of intelligence that you possess yourself. Oh yeah, thank you very much. So whatever. I mean, that's just such an idiotic argument. This gift of life bullshit. You want to, and it's built around this whole thing. Like, again, it always comes back to these values. And as I pointed out with the fetuses and the old dead corpses and the religious nuts, I think you people are valuing the wrong thing. And you're not realizing that your subjective perceptions of value that go along with this beauty crap and this love crap are just that, crap. And you can conform your mind to entirely different pursuits. And many philosophers have argued for hundreds of years, even since Christ, that if a man's going to get any work done on this planet, he probably shouldn't be distracted by the love and the aesthetic nonsense, and should be out there doing the hard work of fixing shit. And the biggest fix is corking those vaginas. I mean, damn, you can't do any more constructive work than to give a woman something better to do with her life than popping out biological experiments for which she has no competence or authority to conduct. So anyway, and again, I guess there's part of this argument always comes down to this subjective crap where one guy says, well, I had a brain tumor, no problem, I liked it. It was kind of fun. I went to the hospital, I had, blurry vision for a few months, and then I had to shape my head, cut my head open, pulled out a hunk of my brain. That was cool, all over the place. I still have it in a jar. Yeah, my wife divorced me, but it's okay, because I married a 400-pound crazy woman instead, and guess what? It happened to be an improvement. And so, yeah, my life is just kick-ass. Yeah, I'm impotent, and I can't count to 4, but I love my life, and I'm just so grateful, and so you have to be. Huh? What? I have to be? Why do I have to be? Why the fuck do I have to be? I mean, you want to stick your tongue in a horse's ass, and you're going to tell me I have to? I have to want that somehow? I have to somehow say, yeah, let's go do it. Yeah, I can't wait to get there. Are we almost there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we at Joe's farm so I can stick my tongue in a horse's ass? Huh. I mean, Professor, that's like an obvious category error. Okay? Error. I mean, your perversions, the fact that you like silly bullshit, why do I have to like silly bullshit? And can't you possibly for a moment conceive, even just conceive, that maybe your silly notions of accomplishment, purpose, are just that, silly notions, and that other people don't have to share your desires and think that, oh yeah, life is worth it because I stuck my tongue in a horse's ass. Somebody's not allowed to disagree with you, and if they do, you're going to call them some sort of psychotic or a depressive or philosophically illegitimate. Kierkegaard says so. He completely abolishes and annihilates their argument that being a person isn't the most magnificent thing in the universe. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, what can I say? I mean, if I was in purgatory, I wouldn't buy my way out. Holy shit, these are early. Lots of little flowery thingies. These are called some sort of droopy drawers. That's what we'll call them. They're droopy drawers. But there's a ton of them here. They should be. They usually do hang a little low, but usually they do point to the, but they're early. Look at these. They're all over the place. Holy smololi. Yeah, pretty cool. I'll have to try macroing. Well, it's probably dangerous. I'd rather do it anyway. I'm probably going to run out of time. Where the hell's the macro in here? Hell if I know, Gary. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Should just say something. Oh, it's a whole different setting. So I can't macro in video. Bummer. I just don't think so. Let me see what I can do. See if I hit this button, what it does. Alright, that didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. Okay. Looks like I can't macro. Kind of a bummer. Macroing is fun. Yeah. Anyway. Where was I? Tired and disgusted. And so sick of this bullshit. This jacket isn't fitting right. My life isn't fitting right. There we go. This is one bad suit of clothes I got stuck in. I mean, it really wasn't bad. I was really lucky in life, which is the sort of the big joke here. Is compared to a lot of people, yeah, I got it good. You know, but I think part of the I got it good is I'm not insane, and so I don't, you know, I don't think it's a fucking, you know, stoically marvelous idea to be pushing boulders up hills to nowhere. You know, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. As a journey, life is too mixed baggy to impose on somebody else, and certainly too high a risk to impose on somebody else. I mean, that part alone. So anyway, so Professor Corey, come on, you know, you can't talk like you just annihilated a position, a philosophical position, by just saying something like Kierkegaard said so. And he didn't even say so. It's your interpretation of what he said. So he didn't have kids, as far as I know. So what's the deal? He didn't love people enough? Is that your explanation? Or he thought there was something better to do with his intelligence than try to mold a new human being. Maybe he was too big of an asshole, by even his own admission, to make or create anything other than an asshole. So, you know, I'm calling bullshit on your video, and you know, this idea that you win an argument because you made a declaration of victory. I mean, that's, you know, other people have done it and it does work, but I call that cheating. Yeah, that's cheating. Anyway, lovely day. I mean, we're getting there. Yeah, no green stuff yet, but this is really nice weather. It's just too bad I'm so miserable. Yeah, it's too bad I have to live my life. I have to get caught up. The still behind thing syndrome. So anyway, till next time, and such and so forth.